Then there's karate and all the martial arts. Not karate. I believe in karate for Christ. I would too if you could do it for Jesus, but he's not behind that kind of stuff. That is totally occult. It comes out of the occult demonic religions and hadn't changed any. Kung Fu, all of them. All the derivatives. Taekwondo, the whole thing. You say, are you sure? Well, you bet. I've had karate go after me more than one time. He's a nasty critter. I know one fellow over in Indonesia. They said, come and help us, Pastor. This man is the son of the witch doctor, and he's been saved, and he wants deliverance. And I said, oh, okay. And I went over, and the Indonesians are rather small people. I make 2 or 3 of each one of them. And these young fellows are very enthusiastic. He was sitting in a chair, and I said, hi, and he said, I understand your father's witch doctor. Yes, most famous witch doctor in the Far East, and I want to be free. And I said, good. I said, I understand your father walks on coals of fire. And he said, yes. He said, I do too. I've done that too. And I said, oh, well, I know what that is then. We'll start off with him. I said, Ishkabu, are you there? I'd met him up in Maryland years before. He kicked my leg and started my leg trouble. He said, yes. And I said, well, hi there. Aren't you glad to see me? He said, no. I said, do you know me? Yes, I know you. I said, do you remember when we met? Yes, I remember. I said, do you remember what happened to you? And about that time he's taking off. I said, boys, grab hold. We were fixing to take off. The shuttle was launching here. And I was hanging on, and they had to hang on too. Well, we got Ishkamu out of there. And then he said, I was also black belt karate. And I thought, oh, my Lord. Me and chairs and all these little Indonesians are going to be flying all over the place when this thing comes. But being foolish and happy, I said, all right, karate, come out of there. And he said, no way. Well, anyway, the upshot of the thing was he put up quite a struggle, but he came out. And he didn't do as much damage as I've seen do it. One time I met karate over in the little church in Chicago, and I was just minding my own business during a service, and there was a man. I was minding my business, Rob. Shame on you. And there was a man standing over here. We were in the invitation. People were coming, and he was standing over there, and he was standing there doing like this. And I said, Lord, what's the matter with him? And he was a new fella. He hadn't been there too long. And he said, just go over there and put your arms around him and tell him you love him. I said, oh, okay. And I'm simple like that. When the Lord tells me to do something, I have to go do it. And so I walked over there, and I put my arms around him, and the Lord said, now tell him, Larry, I love you. I said, all right. So I whispered in his ear. I hugged him. I said, Larry, I love you. And something inside sounded like Vesuvius going, and the Lord said, do it again. I said, Larry, I love you. And the Lord said, one more time. And, oh, that was the charm. When I said that, he just slowly brought his arm up between us. I was standing this close to him. And he just did like this, whoop. He hit me in the chest, and I flew across the room. Without wings, without a parachute or anything. Now, would you like to throw me 12 feet? I'll let you use both hands. You don't even have to do it backhanded like he did. You say, oh, come on, preacher, that couldn't happen. I know it couldn't, but I was there. And believe me, I flew through the air. Now, they say, when you're flying through the air, a lot of things go through your mind. And they do. They really do. As I was flying through the air, I made a mental calculation. We had a little platform one as high as this one, but my calculation was this. According to my calculations, I was going to land right on the middle of my back, right on that platform, and break my back. I knew from experience I didn't fall light. And I thought, the thought flashed through my mind, boy, they got me this time. I'm going to break my back when I hit that platform. I know that's negative confession, but it sure was true calculation. And sure enough, when I got there, I hit the platform, right in the middle of the back where I thought. But just before I hit, something caught me, and I would have bumped harder sitting in a chair. I just barely touched that, just kind of whoof. I never have felt like a feather before, nor since. But I wasn't hurt at all. Of course, it was a little undignified. Here's the pastor in a heap over there, and the people are rushing in, and this monster is screaming and cursing, and there's about 6 or 8 men trying to put him on the floor. And since he doesn't know anything about the law of gravity, he doesn't know that when you push you down, you're supposed to go down. He just comes up, dragging all the men with him. Well, anyway, when that happened, down he went. They were pulling him down, and people rushing over to me, helping me get up and get my dignity back together, which had been considerably ruffled by flying through the air. And they said, "Are you all right, Pastor?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "Are you sure?" They thought I broke my back, too. They couldn't believe it. Well, anyway, the upshot of it was I got up and I walked back over. And by that time, the men had the nasty thing pinned on the floor. And he was screaming and cursing and everything. And I walked over and I looked down at him. And by that time, I was a little indignant. I said, "You tried to break my back." He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you know, demons don't get much good news, so I thought I'd encourage him." I said, "Did you see that angel catch me?" He said, "There were 13, you stupid fools." I guess it takes more for some folks than does others. But at any rate, is karate a spirit? Oh, you bet. And he's a powerful spirit, but Jesus is bigger. And I've faced karate many times.